What's the worst possible reply to "I'm pregnant"? On purpose? Different scenario, but a coworker of mine a while ago was smoking on her break and a lady came up to her and said that's bad for the baby. My coworker replied it's alright, I'm not keeping it. Anyway, she wasn't pregnant, skull rolling on the floor laughing. Are you sure it's yours? Someone asked me, so you just decided to keep it and see if it works out? How my coworker's boyfriend responded: oh, makes sense. You're a bit more of a cunt than usual lately. My sister told my parents she was pregnant. She had been married for a couple of years at this point. My dad said, "What did you go and do that for?" My mom started to cry and said, "Why are you trying to make me seem so old? I thought you were just getting fat. You know, I just got a vasectomy." Sounds like a you problem. You have the wrong number. Got a random call from a woman once who, while crying, told me she was pregnant. I awkwardly told her she had the wrong number. And she hung up. Good luck with that one. Do yourself a favor and flush it out. Frank Reynolds. Okay, hey, I'm gonna go grab some milk. Who this time? My wife is not gonna like this. Edit: thank you for my first award, I'll cherish it always. Edit: 2 thanks for all the awards, you guys. I am currently bragging to my fiancé about how random internet strangers think I'm funny. Ah, you finally got 2 brain cells. Hi pregnant. I'm dad. EW. Not for long. Double it and give it to the next person. Cool. I'm gonna go grab a pack of smokes. But you don't smoke. Door closes. You're fired. I hope you terminate it because you'd be the worst mother. Is it mine? Are you sure it's yours? I once told an acquaintance I was going to have a second child and she seriously asked, human? I have been in Afghanistan for the last 6 months. Me too. Who's the mother? Edit: thanks for the gold, you master JBT. My husband's response was to secretly move out and pretend to keep living with our family so he could have an affair with his child-free mistress. I always thought that was pretty bad. My now ex-husband accused me of not doing the test properly, insisted I do another one because I was bad at these things. Given that we were actively trying for the baby at his request, I was a bit baffled to say the least. Do you know who the father is? Oh fuck. Again? Don't tell mom and dad. True story. Met a friend at a wedding that I hadn't seen in a long time. I had a few drinks on me. He introduced me to his wife and told me she was pregnant and that they were very happy. I had recently seen Borat. So I asked, is it a boy or an abortion? At the time I thought it was a very funny, great idea. It happened to be a girl and they hadn't seen Borat. It was a difficult situation. Edit: realized through replies that it wasn't Borat. But the dictator, thanks. Silence. Sucks to suck. When? Oh, I just found out yesterday. No. When did I ask? Hi pregnant. I'm sterile. That poor child. Edit: one I heard from a neighbor was she's only having that child cause her husband wants one. Sorry for the serious second reply. Cold sweat, smile flushed. My friend had a panic attack when his wife told him she was pregnant. No, you're just fat. Wow, I always knew you'd make a great single mom. With your cousin, right? I thought you were a man. From George Carlin. Hi. This is Jane. Remember me? We met about 6 to 8 weeks ago and you said I was a good sport. Well, I'm pregnant and I'm about to jump off a bridge. Gee, Jane. You really are a good sport. How did that happen? It shows. When my wife became pregnant with our second child, she told our son, who was just under 3 at the time, that mommy had a baby growing in her belly. His response, oops. Who in the hell fucked you? My wife got pregnant and I called my mom to tell her the good news and she said, no shit. Oh. Well, don't get too excited. This is just a proof of concept. All this really means is that your sperm can meet her egg. I mean, let's say my wife ended up having a miscarriage. I can't imagine that I would then call my mom and say, Mom, thank you so much for preparing me for this possibility. I really appreciate it. Your urging me to manage my expectations prepared me so perfectly for this tragedy. Fuck that. I got pregnant at like 17. When I told my dad, his response was, well, hopefully you just bleed it out. I miscarried shortly after. That was pretty terrible. I announced my pregnancy. I was 20. So I was an adult. My very religious, holier-than-thou aunts messaged me and said, so, are you getting rid of it or keeping it? I said I'm keeping it. Their exact responses were, you're too young for a baby. I would just have an abortion and try at a later date. Now 9 years later, they get upset because I don't bring my kids around to see them. Hurricane kick. My mother asked if it was on purpose. I was 24 and married. Not my favorite moment with her. Damn. That's one of only 5 fetishes I don't have. New phone who dis. My husband told our elderly neighbor I was pregnant with baby number 2. I was in my early 30s. Daughter was 3. She replied, oh dear. Oh no. Oh dear, with a look of disgust on her face. I'm pregnant in a mocking tone. That's the 5th on this week. I must be on a roll. Damn, I'm good. I thought you were American. Gators bitches better use Jimmy's. When I told my boss and he said, so what is your plan for returning to work? Exploding head. I'm not going to raise it, my mom. 1996. Thanks, Mom. You're so brave for being a single mother in this economy. I'll get the hanger. My grandma's first reaction really was, Jesus. You are ruining this boy's life, even though we were redating for 3 years already, plus we were in our mid-20s. My wife was worried I'd be mad when she told me and delayed it for a couple weeks. Finally she did, and little did she know I had planned my response for years in advance. I paused, looked at her for about 15 seconds, then asked very seriously, is it yours? She got a good laugh out of that. The number you have dialed cannot be reached at the moment. Please leave a message after the tone. I wasn't pregnant, but when I was 35 my dad drank 3 scotches and informed me my eggs were dying. I missed the part where that's my problem. I once saw a commercial where a guy walks into a pharmacy. He's wandering along an aisle when he looks up and makes eye contact with a woman across the shelf. Dave. Aisha. How long's it been? She steps around the shelf and says about 8 months as she pats her rather pregnant tummy. The camera cuts to his shocked face as a voice says time to leave the country. And a banner slaps the screen advertising a travel agent. That always stuck with me. You like cream pies?